Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're tackling the 2025 Android 15 AI tablet. We've got a really detailed hands-on review to work from.
Yep, seems pretty thorough.
And our mission really is to cut through the noise. What do you actually need to know about this thing?
Right, does it live up to the hype? Especially if you want the key info, quickly without getting bogged down.
Exactly. So the review kicks off mentioning a striking first impression. Sleek design, premium feel. Sounds promising.
It does, and it seems like that good first impression holds up. They talk about this sleek gray chassis, really slim bezels around the screen.
Yeah.
Gives it that modern look, but it's practical too. They specifically mention the anodized aluminum back.
Oh, nice. Does it resist fingerprints? That's always my pet peeve.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah.
Resists them well, so it should, keep looking sharp even after you've handled it a lot.
Okay, that's genuinely useful. Nothing worse than a fingerprint magnet. And weight. Did they mention weight?
They did, 490 grams. So pretty comfortable for holding it for a while, reading or watching stuff.
Yeah, under 500 grams is good. Makes a difference over time. And the little things, too, like the button.
They mentioned a reassuring click from the power and volume buttons. That kind of tactile feedback often means, well, it's built decently.
It suggests quality, yeah. And what else on the build? Any ports jumping out?
Well, there's a SIM card tray, which immediately says connectivity beyond Wi-Fi. We can get into that more later.
Okay, SIM tray noted.
But the really surprising thing, a microSD card slot. And it supports up to 2 TB.
2 terabytes. Seriously.
Seriously. They called it almost absurdly generous, which, in 2025, it kind of is.
Wow, so expandable storage isn't dead after all. That's huge for media lovers.
Definitely bucks the trend.
Okay, let's move to the screen itself, the part you're always looking at. An 11-inch IPS panel, full HD plus Kai-Gala. The review called it a standout feature.
Yeah, that's strong praise. IPS usually means good colors, good viewing angles. And full HD plus resolution on 11 inches should look nice and sharp.
So good for watching Netflix, editing docs, that kind of thing.
Exactly. They said the colors are impressively accurate, not too saturated, which is good for photos and video. Looks more natural.
Okay. And viewing angles. Important if you're sharing.
Excellent, apparently. So yeah, easy to show what's on screen without everyone crowding right in front.
Makes sense. What about brightness? Can you use it outdoors?
Around 500 nits, so fine for indoors, probably okay on a cloudy day outside. Maybe not direct, bright sunlight, though.
Standard enough.
Yeah.
And they mentioned Widevine L1. What does that mean for the average user?
Yes. Widevine L1. Basically, it's the security level needed for streaming services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus to play in full HD or higher.
So without it, you might get stuck with standard definition.
Exactly. You might see blurry video or resolution warnings. L1 means you get the proper HD quality you're paying for.
Gotcha. Important for streamers, then. Okay, let's peek under the hood. Performance, octa-core processor, and... wait. 24 gigs of RAM.
24. Yeah, that's a lot for a tablet. More than many laptops, like you said.
So how does it actually feel? The review said effortlessly smooth for normal stuff.
Yeah, everyday tasks are apparently no problem at all. But where it really impressed the reviewer was under heavy load.
Like multitasking.
Oh, yeah. They threw a lot at it. Multiple Chrome tabs, video call running, Spotify streaming, even a demanding game all at once.
Man, did it choke?
Nope.
Yeah.
Reportedly barely broke a sweat. They highlighted instantaneous app switching, no stutter at all.
Wow. That much RAM is clearly doing its job then.
It really seems like it. That smooth transition between, say, research, notes, and a video call without lag. That's a big deal for productivity.
Definitely. And what about for creators? People using heavier apps?
The review flags that extra RAM as a huge benefit there, too. Imagine running complex photo or video editing apps right next to your reference material with no slowdown.
Yeah, that could be a game changer for some workflows. So no lag for art apps, coding, that sort of demanding stuff.
The review reassures that lag shouldn't be an issue. Pretty powerful claim.
Okay, impressive performance. How about staying connected? We mentioned the SIM slot.
Right, comprehensive options there. That SIM slot means 5G on the go when Wi-Fi isn't around. Great for commuters, field workers.
Any mention of speeds?
Observed downloads over 300 millibs on 5G, so pretty quick for grabbing files remotely.
That's decent. And for home or office use?
Dual band Wi-Fi 6. Should be rock solid and fast on compatible networks.
Standard stuff, but good. Bluetooth.
Bluetooth 5.0. So reliable connections for headphones, keyboards, mice, all that.
GPS included too.
Yep. Precise GPS mention for navigation or location-based games.
And ports.
Yeah.
USB-C, obviously.
USB-C for charging and data, yeah. But the reviewer specifically called out the headphone jack as a rarity.
Ah, the 3.5mm jack. People still want that.
Absolutely. Especially audiophiles or anyone using wired mics or headphones, a very welcome feature for some.
Definitely adds flexibility. Okay, storage. 256 GB onboard, which is, okay, a decent start.
It's a good base, but then you add that microSD slot again. Up to 2 TB, that's the real story.
It really is. Did the reviewer actually test it with a big card?
Yep, popped in a 512 GB card, loaded it with media, no problems reported, recognized instantly.
Nice. And can you choose where apps install? Internal versus SD card?
Apparently, yes. The tablet gives you that flexibility. You can manage your space, how you like apps on internal, media maybe on the card.
So perfect if you're a media hoarder or just want everything with you.
Exactly, your entire library, potentially, right there on the tablet.
Okay, Power. How long does this thing actually last?
8,000 milliamp battery.
And the claim is pretty bold. 2 full days of typical use.
2 days, that's huge.
It is. Of course, typical use varies, but they gave screen-on-time estimates, too.
Oh yeah, what were they?
Around 10 to 12 hours for that typical mix of tasks. And even under heavy load, like constant gaming or video, looking at around 8 hours. 8 hours heavy use, 10, 12 typical. That's still really solid battery life. Should easily get most people through a day or more.
Minimizes battery anxiety for sure, and when it does run low...
Fast charging, please say yes.
Yes, 33W fast charging gets you back to 50% in under 40 minutes, according to the review.
Okay, that's useful.
Yeah.
Caught short, quick top-up, back in business. Good.
Definitely handy.
Now, cameras on tablets are awful an afterthought. What's the story here? 16MP rear, 8MP front.
Pretty much. The review says the rear camera is adequate, good for standing documents, maybe a quick snap if the light's good.
But struggles in low light.
Yeah, noise starts creeping in when it gets dim. Fairly typical for tablets, honestly.
Makes sense. What about the front camera for video calls?
That one got a specific thumbs up for its wide-angle lens. Makes it much better for group calls fitting more people in the frame.
Ah, practical. And video quality.
4K from the rear, 1080p from the front. Decent stabilization mentioned too, so perfectly fine for Zoom, Teams, webinars, that kind of thing.
Good enough for its likely use case. Okay,
Yeah.
Software. Android 15, how's the experience?
The review really liked it, called the interface clean and uncluttered. That's always a relief.
Less junk pre-installed. Bloatware.
Minimal bloatware, apparently. And crucially, you can uninstall the manufacturer's own utilities if you don't want them.
Oh, that is good. User choice.
Mm-hmm.
What about the AI part of the name? Any smart features actually worth using?
Seems like it, yeah. They mentioned a few neat tricks. An AI note-taking assistant that can summarize audio transcripts.
Could be useful.
An intelligent photo organizer that tags things automatically. And a smart battery manager that learns your habits to save power.
Okay, those sound potentially genuinely helpful, not just gimmicks.
That was the reviewer's take. Genuinely useful rather than gimmicky, which is refreshing.
And updates. Security patches, OS upgrades.
Promise of regular security patches and OS updates for at least 2 years. Gives some peace of mind about longevity and security.
2 years isn't amazing, but it's something.
Hmm?
Okay, how does it sound? Speakers.
Dual stereo speakers. And they were apparently surprisingly rich, room-filling.
Really? From tablet speakers?
Yeah, seems they punched above their weight. Balanced mids and treble. Bass is obviously limited by physics, but
But good enough to watch a movie without immediately reaching for headphones.
sounds like it, yeah. And obviously you can pair a Bluetooth speaker for bigger sound, plus there's that headphone jack we mentioned.
Right, the jack for wired fidelity. Any EQ settings?
A basic equalizer is included, yes, for a little tweaking.
Okay. And does it get hot when you push it? With that performance?
Stays comfortably warm, not hot, that was the finding. Peaked around 38 degrees Celsius under load.
So good thermal management.
Seems so. Internal heat pipes and pads doing their job, minimizing throttling, and importantly, it's silent. Fanless design.
Always a plus.
Yeah.
No fan noise. All right, what about the practical stuff? Warranty, support.
Standard 2-year warranty mentioned, covering hardware faults. Online support portal, live chat, email, the usual channels.
Spares available. Accessories.
Ready availability noted, plus monthly firmware updates. And the reviewer had a positive interaction with customer service, prompt and helpful.
Good to know the backup is there.
Okay, let's try and summarize then. Based on this review, the pros seem pretty strong.
Yeah, definitely. Exceptional performance, especially multitasking. That great display, massive storage potential with the microSD, really long battery life, plus fast charging.
Clean Android 15 with those useful AI bits. Loads of connectivity options, including 5G, solid build, nice and light.
Exactly. And the cons are relatively minor, right?
Right.
Average camera in low light, no official stylus support mentioned, which might matter to some.
Right, no specific pen mentioned. And the speakers lacking that deep bass, but that's expected.
Pretty much. Seems like a list of compromises many could live with.
So bottom line from the review, how does it stack up in the, let's face it, crowded Android tablet market?
The reviewer positions it as a true flagship contender. It really seems to hit a sweet spot, balancing performance, build, battery features, and presumably price, though that wasn't the main focus here. It sounds like it could roll for a lot of different people.
Absolutely. Professionals needing a portable powerhouse, students, media junkies, it seems versatile. The review basically says it ticks almost every box.
High praise. Those minor drawbacks seem easily overlooked given the strengths.
That's the impression. A cutting-edge, future-proof Android tablet is how they wrapped it up.
Okay, so a strong recommendation coming out of that hands-on review. It definitely sounds compelling.
It really does. A well-rounded package.
All right, that wraps up our deep dive into the 2025 Android 15 AI tablet review. Sounds like one to watch. Now, just a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. With tablets getting this powerful, this capable, where do they go next? How else might they integrate into our lives, maybe even replacing other devices in ways we haven't quite seen yet, beyond what this review touched on?
Interesting question. Definitely food for thought.
Something to ponder. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.